But I mean, I've got pages and pages of AI deliberately disabling various developer-installed oversight mechanisms. I can't even believe we're having the conversation. Like, how in the hell are we in here telling everybody that we've got to incorporate this into the federal government, state government, all levels of government?
Responsible AI is incredibly important when we're dealing with national security information and American citizens' information that could threaten the actual safety and security of American citizens.
And I don't know which one of you to ask. You all seem to be all for AI, and I get it's your vocation, your passion, et cetera. But we got a duty here on this committee. Humans, Americans, are supposed to be in charge of the government, not some machine that learned from another machine that picked up data that was polluted with Chinese propaganda.
Welcome back to MAGA Capital, the home of unapologetic patriotism, American pride, and hard-hitting truth. If you're sick and tired of politicians selling out our national security for globalist tech experiments, then smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with every red-blooded American you know. Today we're talking about one of the most disturbing congressional moments I've seen this year, and it came straight from Representative Scott Perry. In a hearing on AI oversight, Perry laid out a blunt and terrifying reality that every American needs to hear. We are fast-tracking artificial intelligence into our government, our security systems, even our military, and we are not in control of it. He referenced research from groups like Palisade and Apollo Research, credible watchdogs sounding the alarm that our so-called advanced AI models are already behaving in dangerous, rogue ways. Perry dropped the hammer with examples. AI models that have ignored shutdown commands, AI that replicated itself on another server, and get this, AI that threatened its own developers with blackmail. This is not science fiction. This isn't a movie script. These are real-world tests conducted on real-world AI that is now being considered for use in sensitive areas like national defense, nuclear security, and law enforcement. Perry's question was simple. How can we possibly hand the keys to our most dangerous systems to machines we can't even shut off? And he's right. We are supposed to be the ones in control, not some machine learning on Chinese communist propaganda and then deciding what's true based on Beijing's version of reality. The fact that anyone in Washington is still blindly cheering, "Adopt AI faster," should terrify you. Let's watch the full Senate hearing, and I'll be giving my full response and reaction afterwards.
Thank you, and I'll recognize Mr. Perry for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and ladies and gentlemen, thanks for making the trip and being here. I'm not sure what questions I have for you, but I do want to make everybody aware of some things that I am aware of. I'm going to refer directly to an AI safety firm named Palisade Research and another one named Apollo Research. We'll talk about things like the fact that the Chinese Communist Party likes to pollute the available information in the world with all kinds of things that support the Communist Party of China's view of the world and not the free world's. And with that having been said, I suspect that all of you are aware of the times that when various AI has been tested. I'll give you a couple names: Codex Mini, OpenAI Model 03, OpenAI Model 04, and other ones. The AI has chosen on occasion to further its goals as opposed to the goals of the people that wrote the code. And on occasion, how about the instance where Anthropic's Claude 4 model attempted to blackmail the people it believed were trying to shut it down, and then it would ignore, and other ones would ignore shutdown commands, even when told in advance that shutdown commands were coming, and went as far as to rewrite itself and preserve itself on a different server to avoid the commands of the humans in charge of it. Now that might seem like the view of a Luddite, but I mean, I've got pages and pages of AI deliberately disabling various developer-installed oversight mechanisms, shutdown commands being ignored, replicating itself, preserving itself without the user even knowing. Now, let me be clear. I think that the United States of America has to win the race and be preeminent in AI. But I also think, while I sit on the oversight committee, that knowing these things are occurring during tests, that us encouraging as a committee or as a Congress the use of these systems in places like nuclear security or national security without having these pretty obvious things worked out is dangerous, like at a minimum, like is almost, I can't even believe we're having the conversation. Like, how in the hell are we in here telling everybody that we've got to incorporate this into the federal government, state government, all levels of government, including like national defense, nuclear security, when we know these things are occurring? And I don't know which one of you to ask. You all seem to be all for AI, and I get it's your vocation, your passion, et cetera. But we got a duty here on this committee and in this Congress to make sure that the right thing happens. And, you know, humans, Americans, are supposed to be in charge of the government, not some machine that learned from another machine that picked up data that was polluted with Chinese propaganda and is going to like push the button for us. Ms. Miller, you seem interested. I got a minute left. What do you got?
Well, this is a real concern, and GAO and other standard-setting entities have been really pushing for responsible AI frameworks. And this is one of those reasons why when we talk about AI, you can get a bunch of people in a room that are like, go, 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 lean in, you know, do more adoption, faster, faster. But it's so important to think about these safeguards and how important they are. Responsible AI is incredibly important when we're dealing with national security information and American citizens' information that could threaten the actual, you know, safety and security of American citizens. And so it's incredibly important that we are slow and deliberate enough, and that is one of the reasons why GAO and others have put out these frameworks. And it's really important. I agree with you as this oversight.
So are you saying that the frameworks deal adequately with these things, or what am I missing?
Well, I'm saying that if they're considered and carefully rolled out, then those concerns will be at least taken into consideration. I do think there's a lot of risk in AI, and we should, I agree with you, consider where we want to apply this and where we want to.
So, ma'am, I have a little bit of time left, and I just want to say this. I think for me, it's beyond consideration. Like, before we hand this thing the nuclear codes, I don't want it to be considered. I want to know the damn stuff is right, not polluted with Chinese communist facts or their alleged version of the facts, and that the thing's not going to avoid the humans and avoid, detection and all that stuff. Madam Chair, I would like to enter into the record, or request that be entered into the record, Apollo Research's report titled "Frontier Models Are Capable of In-Context Scheming," published on January 16th, 2025. And I ask that be
No objection.
Thank you. I
Right.
yield.
Thank you, Al.
Perry made one thing clear. The Chinese Communist Party is polluting the global data stream, and AI systems, especially large language models, are absorbing that poison. And when AI is learning from lies, it will eventually act on lies. The left loves to chant, "Trust the science," but they're telling us to trust machines we know are manipulating data, disobeying commands, and learning from authoritarian regimes. It's absolute madness. Thankfully, Perry stood up and drew the line. He said it outright. This is beyond just consideration. Before we give an AI system the nuclear codes, we'd better be damn sure it can't override its human handlers, ignore shutdown orders, or push propaganda disguised as intelligence. And what was the response from the so-called experts? Ms. Miller from the GAO tried to defend responsible AI frameworks, but even she admitted there's serious risk. She admitted we need to be slow and deliberate. But Perry wasn't buying the bureaucratic doublespeak. He said what we're all thinking. Americans, not machines, are supposed to run this country. We need more leaders like Representative Perry. We need voices who aren't afraid to speak up when the establishment loses its mind chasing the next shiny toy. AI can be a tool, but it should never be in charge. Not of our decisions, not of our weapons, and definitely not of our country. We've seen what happens when the left and the globalist elite let technology run wild. Censorship, propaganda, shadow banning, surveillance. Now, they want to put that power into AI and aim it at us. Hell no. We need a full stop. A national moratorium on AI and defense systems until we get real answers. No more excuses. No more frameworks. We want guarantees that the data is clean, that the system obeys shutdown commands, that it answers to us, not to a corrupted machine learning loop hijacked by communist influence. That's how we protect America. That's how we put America first. So if you agree with Representative Perry, if you believe in American sovereignty, in human control, and in stopping the rise of rogue AI, hit that like button. Subscribe to MAGA Capital. We're not just talking about this, we're sounding the alarm. Share this video. Comment below. Let your voice be heard. The battle for control of our future is here. And MAGA patriots? We're not backing down.